What's up, leaders? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Lead From Your Podcast. I'm Jason. Today, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite conversations and one that we've visited at least a couple times on this channel, which is skip levels. I've been thinking a lot about this since I got laid off about 6 months ago, and how important skip levels were to my development as a leader, both on the skip levels that I was receiving and the ones that I was giving to my teams. While most of them were pretty awesome, there are definitely times in my career where I remember where my skip levels were not that great. And I really wanted to talk about what makes a skip level effective, what makes it work, what makes it not feel dirty or gross or scary. Like a lot of people, when they see something pop on their calendar, especially with new teams, if like I've joined new teams before and I've done skip levels with people and people are like, hey, what is this? Like I get an email or a Slack almost immediately like, hey, what is this? What's going on? Is everything okay? And it's like, everything's fine. We're just going to talk. It's all good. And that is something that as a leader, if you don't do it right, can cause more anxiety than it creates like calmness or feeling connected and all those things. So it's important to understand what you're bringing to the conversation when you're setting it up, because ultimately skip levels aren't about finding out information or, extracting information or figuring out what's broken. It's about building relationships. And if you go in there and you just extract information, that's all you do, you're not building trust. You're actually eroding trust in that situation. So it's important for you as you go into these skip levels to understand that you don't go there to interrogate them. You're there to make sure that they feel seen, that they feel connected to leadership beyond just their manager, that they have a voice beyond where they are in the org. That's the important thing. And I cannot stress enough the amount of senior executive level people that do not do skip levels because I don't know if it's their time, if it's their lack of interest, it's whatever, that they just don't skip beyond their direct report. They don't go beyond or even lower. I think personally, as a CEO, as a vice president, you should be talking with every level of your organization. It doesn't have to be every day, it doesn't have to be weekly, but if you're not connecting with at least somebody in some level once or twice a month, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're not going to be able to build relationships. People are not going to feel connected to what's going on and where things are going. And that one 10-minute, 15-minute conversation can change the game for your entire organization. Because listen, there's a ton of managers out there that love doing what they do and they're fantastic at it. But even those managers unconsciously will tell you their version of the story. It may not be the exact truth. They may not be even hiding anything. It may not be negative. It may not be anything, but they're putting their filter on it, because if you ever played the game telephone, you know that every person changes a little bit. So it's important for you as a leader to skip beyond that manager to understand what is this person actually feeling. Get it directly from the person. Because if you get the unfiltered version, you can really understand if there's nuance that maybe is getting lost in translation. This isn't about going around your leaders or your managers. This is about building relationships within your department so you can lead more effectively. You having relationships with all these people makes you a better leader, puts you in a better position to actually support your managers. Because if you are seeing gaps in their communication to you, that doesn't mean they're in trouble. It means you need to fire them. It just means that that's a coaching opportunity. Like, hey, they talked about this. Did you know about that? Oh, I didn't know about that. Well, why didn't we talk about that? Well, I didn't think it was a big deal. It is a big deal because they're feeling a certain way. So you need to make sure that this is an opportunity for them to either grow or have a conversation with somebody else or look at other paths outside the department. Whatever the conversation is, if you're not communicating that effectively, if you're not letting that information flow freely, that can put you in a situation where maybe you're not supporting that person the way you want to. So it's a great coaching opportunity if you can take the time. All right, I think I've beat that to death enough. Let's talk about what a good skip level actually looks like. And I think the first thing is timing. If every time you're having a skip level, there's something wrong, or that's the reason you're having a skip level, people are going to start panicking anytime you schedule one. Anytime you schedule one, everybody's like, oh man, here it goes. Something's wrong. We're going to have to deal with this. That's not good. That is not what you want. So you want that to be a regular interval that feels very normal and very normal. Like, you don't, like, I know I just said that twice, but you don't want to like spring it on people. If it's a surprise, people are gonna be like, whoa. So tell them how often it's going to happen. Tell them what to expect and what it means. And if you see something on my calendar, I will tell you ahead of time if there's something we need to talk about that's a difficult conversation. Make sure they understand, set that expectation, and don't only meet with them when there's chaos or problems. When you're asking questions, remember that if you're not going to act on it, or you're not going to communicate why you can't act on it, don't ask the question. Ultimately, too many leaders ask questions that they know they're never actually going to act on. Don't do that. That is not the way to build trust and show that, like, hey, I'm here to help. Make sure that if you're asking questions and you're ready to act on or very eloquently explain why we can't act on it because it doesn't fit in the department or this is, the budget's not there, whatever the answer is, be ready to have that conversation. If it's you don't know in the moment, okay, fine, but make sure you follow up. And probably lastly, and this is probably one of the most important parts of this, is people understand when you're asking about their manager, you're trying to find information out about their manager, or they're actually trying to get to know them and find out about them. And they're going to respond and give you information accordingly. If they think you're on just like a fact-finding mission, you may get truth, but you may not get what somebody actually feels. When you're in a skip level, it's important to understand, like, how's it going? How are you doing? How's the family? What's going on? What are you traveling? All that stuff. It's important to build the relationships, but it's also important to not just do that. Ask like, hey, what is one thing I should know that only you could tell me? Or what's one thing that's not working that you see that you don't think anybody else sees? All of those things can get to questions and actually make them feel like they have an opinion, that they can actually impact the org in a positive way. That's a game changer. If you're doing all these things, you're building trust, and that trust will come back in ways and pay back in ways that you'll never truly expect. Things like warning you early about themselves being disgruntled or ready to go. Somebody else in the team giving you really honest feedback about yourself, about your manager, about anything. And ultimately just staying because they feel connected to leadership and they feel like they have a relationship with leadership. That is such a game changer, to have that trust and the relationship, because that is a game changer for you as a leader, to be able to say to people, to look at you or to talk to you and say, hey, I trust this person. I know that they have my best interests at heart. It may not always work out the way I want it to every time, but I know that ultimately it's not because of me or because they don't like me or because they're being mean to me or they're not being fair to me. It's because something in the larger org is impacting their ability to do that thing. And I think that is what not enough people talk about when we talk about leadership. So do skip levels. Do them at every level you possibly can. Doesn't have to be every day. Doesn't have to be every week, but make sure it's happening. If you do that, you will change the face of your organization in ways you can't even imagine. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, hit me up at jason@leadfromhere.co. If you have any concerns about what I've said, please hit me up. Let's talk about it. Otherwise, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and take care.